Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos. It really helps. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video. Part 5. The place Paul and the others were staying at was an inn in a certain corner of the city. It was constructed of earth and stone. If I were to go by the standard of Magic Continent, it would be aimed at about B-rank adventurers. It's not good or bad. After we made it up to the entrance, Gisu said it. Listen, Paul is considerably exhausted. Elena, I'm sure there are things you want to say, but this time try to hold yourself back a bit. I can't make any promises. Elena said that while shaking her head. Gisu made a bitter smile and shrugged his shoulders. Nothing more than that was said. Well, if it's Elena, then it's not like she'll suddenly become belligerent. Senpai, you as well. Please don't get into a fight like last time. I'm sure you have lots of things to say along the way, but don't blame him too much. If he's going to the point of saying something like that ahead of time, it seems Paul is in a dangerous state. Although, I've already seen a weakened and lost Paul once before as well. It won't be good if I don't prepare myself. Yeah, I can see it. Paul is the type who is considerably weak emotionally. If anything happens, he quickly gets depressed. It's not quite to the level of mental illness, but he's the type that hasn't gone through any kind of major setbacks in the past. If we could just find Zenith, then I thought he would return to the Paul full of confidence from Buina village though. Well, this time, I'll go with guts. Let's go with tolerance. Let's go with the level of being called Rudeus the Buddha. Then, let's go in. Gisu said that and went inside the inn. There's no door. There was a cloth almost like a curtain separating as we entered inside. Inns that are aimed at adventurers, generally, were all made to look the same no matter where you go. It's a place for the sake of eating. Only the materials of the tables and the positioning are different. There's no large difference. I recognized Paul at a glance. The man who has fallen prostrated on top of the table. Ah! There was a person who let out a small voice. The person standing right beside Paul. Even in this kind of place, she's wearing maid clothes. It's Lilia. She had a clear yet slightly tired expression and her hair was somewhat frayed. However, after she met eyes with me, that face became somewhat cheerful. She did a single bow towards me. After that, she soon shook Paul's back. The woman sitting in front of Paul stood up as well. After seeing my face, she took several steps back and lowered her head after making a taken aback face. It's a female in a robe figure. Was that Vera or Shira again? If I remember correctly, it was Shira. The management person. She was making a tired face as well. Everyone is making tired faces. I sat down in the seat she was sitting right in front of Paul. Husband, Rudeus-sama has come to visit. After Paul was shaken by Lilia, he slowly raised his face. What a terrible face. He didn't have a scruffy beard and his hair was reasonably in order. There's no scent of alcohol from a certain time as well. However, there's bags under his eyes. It feels like he's lost weight and worn out as a whole. Same as always, he's being driven into the corner. I'm glad I came. If Paul is in this kind of condition, then even with just this, there is meaning in my coming here. Rudy, Dad, it's been a while. Paul looked at my face in a daze. It's almost like he's just woken up. No, I wonder if he was asleep, with his face down on the table. And dozing away. Ah, how strange. I can see Rudy, waha, yo Rudy, it's been a while. You look energetic. Are Norn and Aisha doing well? Paul said that with glazed eyes and a dull face. Honestly, it was a reaction outside of my assumptions. I thought a Paul who was lost in alcohol would come out like some time ago. And then, I thought he would come out shouting at me with an alcohol bottle in one hand. No, Norn and Aisha, I've taken care of. Now they're living with me in the Magic City Sharia. For the time being, I've left them in the care of some reliable people, so it's alright. I see, as expected of Rudy. I can rely on you. Yeah, how have you been? Have you been healthy? I guess so. Well, I've been healthy. Paul was smiling with a fluffy expression. Paul, you've really ended up becoming like this, Rudy. Paul unsteadily stood up and made his way around the table to me. And then, he tightly embraced me. Dad, you know, he's a failure. I just silently returned the embrace from Paul. Paul might be no good. He already might never return to normal. Even though he'll soon have grandchildren born. He's ended up becoming like this. However, now that I've come here, it's alright. I'll somehow do something. I came for that reason. I couldn't save your mother, I couldn't protect the things I decided myself either. I wasn't able to do anything for you as a parent as well. I'm a no good guy. Please rest easy. Now that I've come here it's already alright. Woo, Rudy, you have really gotten big. Paul tightened his grip on my shoulders. It hurts a bit. However, I'll endure it. I've grown bigger. Soon, my child will be born as well. So, afterwards rest easy and leave things to me. Please take a good rest. Huh. Child. And there Paul suddenly let out a strange voice. Simultaneous with that, the light rapidly returned to his eyes. Oh, oh, oh. He was touching my face with his own face like he was tricked by a fox. Could it be, you're real? I'm real. You're not a dream? A good man like it's a dream, right? Ah, he's real. Paul blinked his eyes and looked at his surroundings. He met eyes with Lilia. Good morning, husband. Yeah, Lilia. How long was I asleep? Since Talhan-sama went out shopping, so, just about 1 hour. I see, it seems I was half asleep. Paul shook his head and stretched a bit. Huh, after all, it seems he was just half asleep. It seems he hasn't become an invalid. That's great. I thought I was going to have to nurse an old person already at this age. Paul sat back down on the chair and faced me. And then, with a feeling once again, started to ask. Rudy, why are you here? I said it just now as well, but I've come to help you. No, not with that sort of meaning. I shook my head. It was a question within my assumptions. Previously, these sorts of differences in contact developed into a fight. However, this time, it will be fine. I already saw the letter and sheltered Norn and Aisha as well. It's alright, Norn and Aisha as well, they've safely been taken care of. I repeated what I said earlier. Right, I see. Paul looked like he was confused as he patted my body. Almost like he was trying to make sure if I was really here. No, but, after all, isn't that too fast? We came using a somewhat special means of transport. I thought about talking about it on the way home. Special means, well, if it's you, then I guess those kinds of things are possible. Paul was making a dumbfounded face and drooped his shoulders. With the same absent-minded face. For the time being, could you tell us what happened after you sent out the letter? No, wait just a second, I'm confused. That's right, please drink some water and calm down. I made a cup with earth magic and filled it with water using water magic, then handed it to Paul. Paul honestly took that, and quickly gulped it down, and then, took a deep breath. Sorry, I'm a bit surprised. Though I knew that Gisu sent out a letter at his own convenience, I thought it would be a bit longer before you come. We came here in a hurry after all. After saying that, Paul made a bitter smile. Even for hurrying, that's way too fast though. 1.5 months. If you were to expect it from Paul's side, it would be a bit over half a year. Even then, that would still be fast. I'm sure it's fast. Normally, it would be another year from there. Paul as well, probably thought it would be another 10 months I'm sure, and there Paul put his hand at his chin and made a face like he was thinking about something. And then, with a somewhat tensed face asked me. That voice was using a tone that was slowly trying to ascertain something. Come to think of it, earlier, did you say something about having a child? Come to think of it, I did say it, though I didn't have any intention to hide it. After all, I wonder if he'll get angry. That even though I'm going through this much difficulty, just you are making these good experiences. I responded while selecting my words. That is, actually, while I was attending school at the Magic University, I got married. Married? Paul's face turned into a frown. With whom, was it Aris? No, with Sylphie. We were able to reunite at the Magic University. Sylphie? The one from Buina Village? She was alive? Yeah, though it seems like she had a terrible time in her own way. Paul was brushing his chin while making a surprised face. Somehow, I did send out a letter, but it really doesn't seem to have arrived. The story up until we got married, do you want to hear? Yeah. That's right I guess. For the time being, tell me. I started to tell Paul about what happened after I sent the letter to him. I entered the Magic University, the story up until I got married. I carefully told the contents. Honestly, my memories from school life were nothing but fun memories. Certainly there were a few bad things as well, but it wouldn't be an exaggeration to even say they were rose-colored. I made friends as well and made a lover as well. During every event, we had a party as well. I cautiously told it while trying to remain as objective as possible as I said it. I didn't keep anything secret. Since there's no mistake that I enjoyed it. I see, a child, grandchild, I was prepared to be reprimanded. The fact that I've made a child would mean, in other words, that I did things capable of making a child. During the time when I know Paul is desperately trying to save Zenith for our family. Normally, I'm sure you would get angry, it's something that accompanies pleasure after all. It seems Paul has been living a lifestyle of abstinence as well after all. In front of me with that kind of thinking, Paul lowered his head. I'm sorry about that. Because of my worthlessness, I called you who is about to become a father to this kind of place. He apologized. That Paul did. No, that is, I feel very sorry about that. Even though mother still hasn't been found, only I have. No, I can't blame you for that. Once with Lilia, I as well embraced her after all. Lilia is your wife as well, isn't that fine I wonder? And where I think up to though? I thought I could last until we saved Zenith, really, it's pathetic. Paul hung his head down in shame, he looks like he's going to cry again. Fragile. Almost like he's made of glass. And there Lilia interposed with her words. We were attacked by a succubus, it couldn't be helped. Even with that, you, like that, ah, damn it. Paul seemed like he remembered something and held his head. I see, a succubus huh? It can't be helped if it was a succubus. I encountered one as well, but those aren't something you can fight against. The things that people are hiding in their hearts, it has a feeling like it can lay them bare. But, I think there should be healing magicians in Paul's party. And I flash a glance at Shira. She caught my glance and went into an obvious panic. I am very sorry. That is, I was afraid of the leader, and I wasn't able to do anything. Rudy, please don't blame her. It's my fault. Most likely, after Paul went into heat, he started to attack the women surrounding them. If this man were to seriously go into heat, I'm sure that would be scary. Even more so, in Paul's party, Paul should be the core of their combat ability. You can't invoke detoxification magic unless you're touching the other side with your hand. Trying to hold down Paul while using detoxification, that's no different from impossible. There Lilia must have offered her body to somehow do something I'm sure. I understand the fear of succubus very well, it's an opponent that it can't be helped against. But you know, even though Talhand was completely fine, just I. Come to think of it, this party has a man called Talhand as well, doesn't it? He was alright, I guess. I wonder what that means. There was a man who could resist that? Could it be that it doesn't affect dwarves, or something like that? While I was thinking that, Paul's gaze locked onto me. What is it? After asking that, Paul scratched underneath his nose while answering. No, it seems you've become able to refer to yourself as Or now. Huh, after it was pointed out, I realized that my first person had changed. Come to think of it, at some unknown point, I've started to be able to put Or into words. Though it was something I had intended to do. Maybe because I was talking together with Zenoba and the others, it seems it gradually mixed together. Ah, excuse me. To think I would do that. No, it's fine. Using Or is manlier after all. Paul smiled. He smiled, however. Tears started to build up in the edges of his eyes. Tears started to fall down. By the time one grain had fallen, many were falling down. Without end they were falling. Rudy, you really grew up a lot, didn't you? After receiving those words, I felt like I was going to cry as well. Even though we're family, we don't even know how the other side has changed. Dad is sorry for being this kind of no-good father. I silently put my arm around Paul's shoulder. It wasn't even necessary to stretch myself. My hand could reach around to the other shoulder. In the time I hadn't realized, I had grown to the same height as Paul. Just like that, the two of us cried. That's it guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.